Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Junior.
And I'm ready to roll.
And we're
the Nerdy Bros.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys liked last week's episode with James, our guest. Once again, thanks, James, for being on the podcast last week. We really enjoyed it, and hopefully we can have you on again some other time.
Yes.
So you guys can see, we are in a different setup yet again. We're in my living room, but this is a different...
this is the one that Angel broke.
This is a different view of my living room that you guys haven't seen. I brought my crafting table upstairs because I'm painting some stuff for our DnD campaign. And Tito's going to be doing some D&D stuff over there. So we're just going to talk while we do other stuff. Multitasking.
Hey, we're going to try our best because as we've proven on other podcasts, sometimes we're bad at it. As you guys can see, there's this fantastic large boat we have here.
I'm not just slow. I'm large.
Oh, I thought he said something. Wait, is that what he says?
Yeah.
Oh. So with this boat here, I'm actually really excited for when we finally get to this point in the campaign and start to use it. It is a fantastic, expensive purchase that I made, and Junior's doing a fantastic job painting. He has, out of nowhere, been this fantastic painter.
Say fantastic one more time.
Fantastic. Say crack one more time. Crack. So I'm really excited for this to get done and for whenever our party heads on over there. And who knows? I don't think they saw the boat yesterday.
No, I don't think they did because everybody just kind of like walked right into it. And then like the lights were off, so like nobody was really paying attention in the living room.
Yeah, so cool.
Which I'm like okay about because...
Well, we'll see. I mean, maybe if they watch this episode, maybe they'll get to see some things about the boat.
Yeah. Hey, a boat. I've seen a boat.
Hey, a boat. Yeah. Passed by here not too long ago. But anyways, yeah, as Junior said, he's kind of... Are you like working on two separate campaigns then?
Yeah.
Because he is... So, as he said, like, I'm going to be rolling some stuff over here. Junior's working on a campaign that will go after the one that we're currently playing on, which I'm DMing for. And he wanted to do a pirate campaign. So he's been working on that. And then we've been playing D&D with his 4-year-old son, who's actually been enjoying it a lot.
Yeah. He actually does pretty good.
He does pretty good. Some of his imagination is wild and hilarious.
Yeah, he does it like he
tries to take over his
Yeah. Like you can tell like he's like, well, but what if we do this? Like, dude, no, I'm telling the story. You just do whatever. Like, tell me what you want to do based on the things I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's
Instead,
hilarious.
he's like, but what if somebody just stabs him in the butt? And it's like, what are you talking about?
What if my wolf has portal magic in his mouth?
Yeah, that's what he's like. Let's just take a portal to where my mom is. I'm like, yeah, sure. Do any of you have portal magic? No.
But
like,
what
okay.
If? Yeah, he's hilarious. What if? So we actually we've talked on the podcast many times before about Dimension 20, and my favorite campaign that they play is actually in this Candy Kingdom, and it's loosely like based around like Game of Thrones.
He's like, I think Brendan has said it because like I've been watching a bunch of one shots, and when you know at the end they were all like letting they were all getting able to plug like the things that they were in. And it was early enough where I think that's when they were doing A Crown of Candy. So one of the one shots that I watched was like from a few years ago. And then he was like, we do a bunch of like silly D&D stuff. So like if you're interested in seeing like what if Candyland was in Game of Thrones, like come check out this season. So like that's the way he described
most fantastic
it himself.
season. I've seen the season fully twice. It's just so much content.
I thought about rewatching it.
It's so good. I love it so much. But anyways, Junior thought it would be cool to what was it? Basically, you were just like you thought that the D&D little stuff that we're doing with Maxie was a little too graphic, so you thought it'd be better to do it in a candy setting like that.
He sits around with us when we're playing because he's 4 and he just kind of wants to be by his parents. So sometimes he's like sitting on his mom's lap and sometimes he's sitting on my lap, and then it's like. And then I walk up and I just cleave his head straight off and a stream of blood comes out. And I'm just, so like he's sitting there for that or whatever. So then when he's playing, he's like, what if I just shoot him in the neck? And I'm just like, you're 4. Jesus Christ.
So Junior's kind of work. I mean, I don't know I think you said you had a general idea of what you wanted to do for them in their candy version of DnD.
Yeah, like I just kind of want to do like essentially kind of like a Candyland type story, but not necessarily where it could be a one shot, but like if we played like a 4-hour campaign, which we won't, but like if we did do that, where if we played normal campaigns, it would probably take us like two games to get through the story.
Yeah.
So like maybe it'll take them like 7, 8, times to play.
So anyways, that's what I'm going to be rolling here. I'm actually going to be rolling his character, my niece's character, and then I'm going to be playing a chocolate bunny in this Candyland game. R.I.P. Le Pen. But anyways, yeah, so that's what I'm going to be rolling for, working on that stuff.
Sorry. The pen, I hate when you do that.
But kicking off our podcast like we normally do, we're going to do something called Junior's Hot Take. And this is part of the episode where we talk about something new and upcoming, get Junior's Hot Take and hot opinion on it. And Junior, we have now gotten, there was a new trailer for Obi Wan, and it looks awesome. But we've already talked about that. So instead, now we got a much longer trailer for... because before we only had a teaser, I think.
Yeah.
But now we have a much longer trailer.
Well, I would say both of them were, because when the Obi-Wan one released, it said teaser, and then when the one that you're about to talk about, they also said teaser,
but it was the new Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. So, before I ask you what's it about, you said Maxie's character is gonna be what Maxie the gummy bear?
Yeah, he's going to be a gummy bear.
Okay, but his name is just Max?
Yeah. Like, they're not going to watch it, so it doesn't matter. But like
Maximo the gummy bear?
Like, my idea is that I'm going to have them sitting around the table right before we start playing, and I'm going to give them some candy, like the candy that they, like their favorite candy and stuff. And then I'm going to be like, all right, we're sitting here, and then like they start to eat it, and then I'm like, all of a sudden a wizard shows up, and bam! And like they'll get transported into the world, so like they're, like them themselves are being transported into this candy world. So it'll almost kind of be like a Page Master scenario thing.
Okay.
They get transported into the candy world, but they're themselves, and they get turned into candy.
Maxie's going to be a fighter, so that's what I'm going to be rolling for. But yes, tell us about House of the Dragon.
Well, we still don't really know too much, aside from the fact that it's obviously following the Targaryens, and the Targaryens were the ones that held the Iron Throne for the longest time. Because we did get to hear other houses. We got to hear somebody pledge from House Stark, somebody pledge from the House Baratheon, and I think like one other house that I remember. And then, but essentially what has happened is, from the gist that I'm getting, is that the king, who is a Targaryen, obviously, has said that when he passes, the heir to the throne will be his daughter. And I think people are mad about that because there's never been a female monarch or whatever. It's been a male.
Yeah, I was about to say,
so like that. I feel like that's the majority of the story that we've gotten so far.
How far ago is it supposed to be set?
I thought it was gonna. I think that I thought that what I had heard was that it was gonna be set like 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones.
300 years?
Yeah. So I'm like, well, because
so it's not the Mad King.
No, it's not the Mad King.
I just rolled 3 ones.
No, because the Mad King had like 3 sons, and Daenerys was his daughter.
Okay.
So he had
Jesus.
But also remember that when we get to Game of Thrones, they say that like dragons have been extinct for a long time. Daenerys.
They said that the last one was like the size of a fist. Like it just didn't grow because they weren't using them anymore.
Yeah, but basically, they were saying that like dragons weren't a thing anymore. So, and in this one, you see dragons right off the bat.
Well, you see
like in the opening. Well, no, you did see a dragon fly in the trailer, but yeah, right off the bat, you see somebody with holding a dragon head. What I found interesting is the guy who played the villain in Morbius and was also one of the doctors in Doctor Who. I think he was like the 11th or 13th Doctor. One of those guys. I can't. I don't even know what the name of the actor is. But he's in the show, and it looks like he's a Targaryen because he has like that silver white, like super blonde hair or whatever. But it looks like he's either part of the plot to like try to. I don't know if they're gonna try to like murder the daughter. So that it'll pass to another Targaryen, which like that makes sense, right? Because that type of shit was that was happening within the Baratheon house.
Yeah.
So like, I think that he either does not want to go with the fact that like his female cousin or whatever it is, because it might even turn out that he's either the younger brother or the older brother, and the dad's like passing him up because he's like, yeah, your brother's a fucking idiot, so we're not gonna let him be the king or whatever. So like, but he looks super menacing in the commercial. So I was like, he's either doing stuff for who's gonna be the new queen, and he's just like, yeah, I'll do whatever for my family, type of shit, or he just but either way, he looks straight up evil. So he's either doing stuff for her or he's doing stuff against her. But he looks like he's going to be like a major character.
Okay. Is this a show that you think is going to be a one-season show, or do you think they're going to do multiple seasons?
I think that just based off of the success of Game of Thrones, that they're going to do multiple seasons. I don't think it's going to be a one-and-done season.
So what happened to that, like, Arya Stark show that they were talking about?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I kind and well, that would be cool if, like, I don't necessarily know if I want two at the same time. But like, it would be cool if they're like, all right, so we're gonna delve into. I just feel that like if they delve into Arya's story, it's all creative freedom, because I think that first of all, George R. R. Martin hasn't even finished the books yet for the original series, but I think that even if he the story that they've already told hasn't even technically officially been finished. He told them who's the person that's supposed to end up on the Iron Throne, which they like followed his wish and made the person that he said end up on the Iron Throne. But like anything after that, I don't think that there's like and this is what Arya did until she died, like in his books. At the very least, it's not in his book yet, because like I said, he hasn't finished them. So I think it's complete creative freedom. So if they decided to actually go forth with that, like if I'm being honest, I'd rather see like a what does Arya get, and I don't know, maybe not, because maybe there's not really a whole bunch of stuff. Like it'd just be kind of cool adventures, but I don't know if it'd necessarily be like as like there's not going to be a.
What have you using this for?
I use that for. Oh, I was using it. Well, it's good for when I'm making stuff, not for painting. But like I don't think like there's not a Night King. You know what I mean? Like there's not like this huge villain this time around. And like again, they also would have to just completely make up what Arya does after this. And with this one, I know that George R. R. Martin has written like some lore on all these houses before. So like I do think that they get like creative freedom with this new show as well. However, they kind of have like a guideline. Like they can't just kill off Ned Stark's like direct descendant without them being like, oh, he had a kid already, because it's like, it's like if you killed this guy, then we don't get Ned Stark. And if we don't get Ned Stark, then we don't get any of his kids. And if we don't get his kids, then we don't get a bunch of this fucking story. So.
All right, question now. What race am I pulling stats from for Maximo the Gummy Bear and then Amaya? I mean, I could probably find, like, if you're playing as a bear humanoid, there's probably stats for that. I don't know what it's called. But
well, is there a werebear?
You could probably look up.
I'm gonna say that for Amaya, probably a human.
Human stats? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you said she's...
I don't know if that's gonna help her or hurt her in the long run being like a magic user.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think any of us have ever played as a human before.
Mm.
Said I'm interested in playing as a human.
Uh-huh.
I'm interested in I'm interested in playing something other than an elf again. Like I was like I went from playing as an elf and then this time I'm like I'm playing as a half elf, so I'm kind of a human. It's like you're also
the
kind
race
of an
is
elf.
called Ursine.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll look up these stats. All right, your strength score increases by 2, so already he's doing great. All right. So anyways, yeah, anything else with that?
No, like I'm just kind of excited about it. Well, it's like I'm pretty sure we got release dates for both. I think the House of the Dragon is August and the Obi Wan show is May. And we got like actual dates. It wasn't just like coming August, coming May. I can't remember like off the top of my head.
Uh-huh.
But like Obi-Wan's is like in like 3 weeks. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yes.
I'm excited for both of them.
So, well,
I like fantasy stuff, so like I'm excited for all of it.
oh god.
Just real quick, speaking about Star Wars and just like D&D and stuff, I'd be interested because like I don't know if your friends ever did this, but like I remember in like 5th grade we used to play like at recess we used to play like Star Wars, like we were like Jedis, but we were like it was like you're a level 1 Jedi and it's like we had to like do cool stuff while we were at recess and then it's like at the end it's like oh you got experience so now you're level 2, you're a level 2 Jedi now, and it was like all this shit that we used to do, and I know that there's people that play like D&D Star Wars, so I'm like I'd be interested in like how that would work.
All right, so I don't think he would be there's 3 sub races of Ursine. There's Grizzly, Polar, and Black. I don't think he would be Polar.
Just because of what? You're saying because like basically
I think making him a Polar gummy bear is a little silly. We'll make him a Grizzly because it'll get him a Constitution increase as well.
Sure, yeah.
And he gets Brave, so he's a Grizzly. So sub race. I wonder if that's on the back of this. Does it say sub race? It does not say sub race. So I'm just gonna put sub race Grizzly.
Oh, because of that you have to, well, because technically on the half elf too you also have to choose that.
Yeah, there's sub races on half elf. There's a lot of things that do have sub races, other things that don't.
Like if you're a human, you're just a human.
Yes,
right?
Correct. But like
for
elf,
instance, you can be a half elf.
Gertis is like a hill dwarf.
Yeah.
Versus being, I think, a mountain dwarf, and then some people play as a Duragar as well. There's a lot of like, especially like that new Spelljammer D&D that we've been seeing. They started playing that Brennan's DMing. There's a lot of people that have gotten into playing as what are normally evil characters. Like I think the first one that really got introduced, that people were just like, I want to play as a goblin, and then the goblin stats were thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
But like one of the characters on there, actually,
someone is a bugbear.
Is a bugbear who is notoriously usually like villains. Somebody else is playing as a Gith Yankee, which I think is kind of cool because like in the DM Monster Guide or the D&D Monster Guide, they have pretty cool stats. So that's actually pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, especially like when it comes to any type of character creation, just go wild with what you want to be with. You don't have to be held back by any restraints. I feel like
you can also just make it up, but I don't know, like I wouldn't consider myself an expert yet, so like I don't think I'd be like I'm gonna play as a Vine Blight and I would like have that figured out.
Yeah, I guess like to certain points of that degree, like it can be like a little difficult. But yeah, all right, so Constitution increase it by 1, so I'm gonna take this 15.
The one that I watched with Brennan, the one that I told you about, there was actually a 2-shot that he did with the same character. He played with Taliesin and all them, and they played the same characters, and the story followed along. Brennan was playing as a paladin, but he was a paladin construct, so like he was actually built like, it was like fairies found like a suit of armor that was just lying around the forest, and they just shoved a bunch of like trees and vines and all this stuff in it. Like, they made it sentient. So he was like his legs were like two giant like tree trunks or whatever, and then like his body was basically hollow because of the armor, but like he could open up his armor and just like he could put stuff in it, and then his head was like a big giant obelisk that had been laid on its side, and his eyes were on either end, so it was almost like a hammerhead shark head type of thing. And then like at the very top of it was like divoted in a little bit, and it was filled with water, and he was like, birds like take baths and just like hang out there.
So like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So but this was like 20th level one shot stuff. So like, that's where I was like, yeah, they were playing 20th level, and it was awesome. I watched both the episodes, and yeah, they were freaking awesome. But yeah, but Brennan was playing like a totally like super good guy, and even when people like made fun of him or whatever, he was like, oh, that's okay, you're still my friend, and like all this stuff. And like even when he was attacking people, he was like I'm coming to kill you, almost friend. And then it was like well, if they stop attacking me, we're just gonna be friends or whatever. So it was just like he didn't care about whatever was going on, but he was like wrecking face. I think he did something like 300 damage in one of his like moves or whatever. Again, they were playing 20th level.
Yeah.
But like when he got his chance to attack, it was like, I'm gonna do Divine Smite at this, and then because of this, and then he had, before like every battle, that's where I learned haste. He was like, I'm casting haste to myself. Then it was like 3 attacks, and then added all the damage together. And I was just like, holy shit! Like, this is like crazy. Like, I've watched videos on YouTube where they like, they talk about like where they like make fun of certain classes and shit like that, and it's like, Paladins, okay, Divine Smite, he's just gonna do Divine Smite every single time or whatever, and it's like, well, it's like, it does a lot of damage, why the fuck wouldn't I be doing it?
Yeah. But I mean, it's a fantastic game, guys. Get into it. We talk about it so much. There are certain days I'm just like, this is like turning into like a DnD podcast some days. Sometimes. But moving things right along, we come to the fan favorite segment known as
Anime is an important part of our culture.
And actually, for once, I could talk about that. We both recently finished the first season of Konosuba.
Yeah,
Konosuba.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When you told me you were watching it, I was like, damn, I would have watched it with you. But also, I was like, if this fucking guy fucking tells me that he's like on season 2 already, I'm gonna be so pissed because I haven't even started season 2 yet. Because that's why I was like, what episode are you on? What episode are you on?
I'm in the middle of season 2, episode 1.
I think I also started season 2, episode 1, but I think I fell asleep during it, so
okay.
I'm in the first episode also.
Yeah.
But yeah, that show's fucking hilarious. So, what are you guys doing? And then he like leans in and he's like, "Tell me more."
So, here's my thing about it though. Like I akined it to.
Do you think I'm right of like what I was like how I was describing it?
Well, yeah, you described it fine, but like, there's a show that's much better than it. So it's because it is kind of. It's a little fan servicey, but like not too much.
There's not. That's what I was telling Megan. Too much fan service. There's not like all those panty shots and all that stuff that you get in like normal fan service stuff.
The only one is like Aqua. Aqua doesn't look like she's ever wearing panties. Like whenever the camera's behind her, it just looks like she has her whole ass out.
Yeah.
But there's a show that the action and like story is way better. Like this one, Konosuba is definitely way more just like funny. Yeah, like it's just meant to be hilarious. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is almost exactly like this, but the action is way better and the character's actually like a badass. He's like a incredibly powerful wizard. I think he's like a max level wizard, and then he keeps like finding other people.
But it's also like a video game type one?
Yes, because I'm pretty sure because you'll hear like the voice inside of his head. Like he looks like a badass.
Yeah.
And
I've seen pictures.
I think he's actually wearing. It's like what is it? Like one of those like a costume thing where you put on a headband and then you've got like devil horns. Mm-hmm. He's wearing like a magic item but that's what it basically is. But everyone sees the devil horns and just assumes he's like a demon. I think he calls himself like a demon lord too. But yeah, like the inside of his voice his inside voice is actually like sounds like a teenager or whatever, and then but like the outside voice makes him sound like an adult or whatever.
I think he has a deep voice.
Yeah, well, because most of the time he's just like, how would I respond to this? And that's similar to an anime I think we also both watched, which was Overlord.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that because I stopped watching after like
That show is awesome.
Season
that
1.
show is awesome. I love Overlord. I want more Overlord, please. Where was I going with that? But yeah, so we both watched. We watched Konosuba. If you guys watched,
we watched all of Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah, you caught up completely on Attack on Titan, and you're right where I'm at. So what were your? I mean, it's your favorite anime. So what were your feelings on everything that's happened?
Well, yeah, at this point, I feel like I could talk like without there being fear of like spoilers.
Yeah, because at this point, you waited also till everything was dubbed too.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So like everybody's either already watched it dubbed or they watched it way before subbed or whatever. Because I know like James reached out and was like, "Hey man, can I talk to you about fucking?" And I was like, "I haven't seen any of it, so you can't tell me anything." Well, right off the bat right after DnD one time. One of the other people that we played with was like, "Man, what'd you think about Levi dying?" And I was just like, I'm like, I partially see something about that on TikTok, so I was just like, great. Now it just got confirmed though, like motherfucker. And then obviously he's not dead, but I don't know. I watched the first half of season 4 so long ago that like it's hard for me to like sit here and try to compare like which half I liked better. Like, because there was huge revelations on both sides, but like I really liked Eren taking the fight to them in the first half of season 4. And like get like right away, like the first 4 episodes almost have like nothing to do with them. It's like all like with Gabi and like all their soldiers and the Eldian people and the Marleyan people.
So is Maxie gonna be 4 years old then if he's playing as himself?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a little brother and a big sister.
Yeah.
It's like Babes in Toyland or the fuck.
Toy.
They just get sucked into this world. Actually, could have totally just made that up. I have no idea. I haven't seen Babes in Toyland. Maybe I have, but not for a long ass time.
All right, I'm getting close to at least getting something with him. Yeah. Anyways, continue.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess I would say I probably liked the first half of season 4 better than the second half of season 4. Although the second half of season 4 had a bunch of like badass shit. I don't know. I just felt like there was like, I didn't really feel like there was so much revelation stuff, except for when Eren and why the fuck am I blanking on his name? The Beast Titan. What the hell's his name?
The Beast Titan. Oh god, I'm totally.
Yeah, like I'm blanking on his name.
Brother.
Yeah, but Eren and his
Zeke.
half brother Zeke, the Beast Titan. When they go into their dad's memories, like that was kind of like a pretty big revelation that in essence, like whoever is the Attack Titan has the ability to see who the next Attack Titan is gonna be and like what and like see their memories and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. I mean, overall, I really am enjoying it. Obviously, we had already talked about like that there was. I mean, you had already said like there's definitely going to be like a movie. And when we were watching it, I was telling Megan, I was like, part of me is like, I fucking hate that because it's just like a total money grab. But then at the same time, I was like, I cannot wait to see this on a huge screen.
Like if they do that, yeah, I can understand that, but at the same time, yeah, it's just annoying that like we were supposed to get the ending already, and it's just
because this is for me this is the second one, right? Because like all the My Hero movies are just My Hero movies. They're standalone. They basically slightly hint at stuff that's like, it's like, okay, this is going on in the break between the or whatever.
In Two Heroes, you get to see Endeavor with like his messed up face and scars, and you're like, what the hell? And they're like, oh, don't worry, the next season will explain like how he got all that. But like you got to see him before he got the scar though in the movie, because it happened after the season. And Hawks was also, I think, introduced in that movie, but he didn't get introduced until the following season.
Yes, they send him to fly in, and like he shows up at the very end or whatever.
Yeah.
But like those movies were like movies, but then Mugen Train, as far as I know, is the first one to be like, here's a movie, and then they were like, haha, it's part of the show, and it's like, really, you guys are assholes for that one. At least Attack on Titan's like, here's the movie. Or like, if there's a movie, it's like, here's the movie, this is the ending. It's not like, because like, to me it's just like, yo, this is anime, this is a show. Animes are supposed to be shows, but I feel that based off the popularity, because they're only making movies of the super popular ones.
Yeah. They're
not making a fucking fruit baskets movie or whatever the fuck. Like, they're making a movie of the super, super popular ones, the My Heroes, the Dragon Ball Zs, shit like that. So, I still feel like it's bullshit. First, for the fact that it was like, this is part 1 of season 4, this is part 2 of season 4, and then it's like, that's still not the ending. And it's just like, dude, come on, are you serious? But again, part of me was mad about it. I'm still kind of upset about it. But we'd already talked about that, where I was like, this is bullshit. But I'm also like, holy fuck. I'm going to sit in a movie theater and I'm going to see the Colossal Titan actually look like a giant motherfucking Colossal Titan on the screen.
All right, so quick switch over to this. What skills would I give, or is he going to be proficient in? So I feel like I could give him acrobatics and athletics if you just want to do those two, because I don't know that he'll be making animal handling, intimidation, perception, and survival. I mean, they could make those checks and you could ask for them and he could be proficient in them, but just...
Well, like, I always feel like the thing, like, I didn't take perception as something that and then I'm like, that's what I'm like, whenever you're like, make a perception check, it's like, whatever it rolls, what I get.
I mean, switching a little over back to D&D, it's kind of a toss-up sometimes when you come to what you want to be proficient in, because adding your proficiency bonus to a skill is good if you do it for a skill that you have, like, a low score in, because now you have, like, something else that you could add something, like, good to. Like, if you already have, like, a high ability modifier in something else, but obviously like, also, like, if you put it in the thing
something that you have an ability like
it's
strength,
like,
yes.
Yeah, it's, like, way over the top,
That's too. Like, whenever I do, like, an athletics checks, I get to add +9. Yeah. Because I have, like, a strength of 20, so I have +5 to that already.
Yeah, so yeah, it's, yeah, so, I mean, his strength is high. So he's a fighter. Yeah. Also, what weapon is he going to use?
He's using a sword.
There's many types of swords.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we can let him choose that. It's not really going to change too much of anything.
Okay. Also, as an Ursine, his unarmored attack... Well, not unarmored attacks. I shouldn't say unarmored. His claws, they don't just deal 1 damage plus strength. He has bear claws, so it's 1d4 plus strength. Okay. But anything else on anime you like to... Oh, I was also going to say, if you've already watched...
We've been watching a bunch of Naruto, obviously.
Yeah, you have. If you've kept up with Demon Slayer on Mugen Train, but similar to Junior, you're waiting for the whole season to be dubbed. As of Sunday, all of Season 2 has been dubbed, so you can watch...
Like, as of this past Sunday?
As of this past Sunday, the last episode came out, and you can watch all of that.
Okay, so that's the next thing that we'll do.
And you're good to go.
I mean, we knocked out Attack on Titan in 1 day. There's only 11 episodes.
But also, like, Megan has to watch Mugen Train, like you said. She hasn't seen any of it.
I think, how much did you say if all I had to do was watch the entertainment art district?
It's 11 episodes.
Okay, so it would be 11 episodes, which was what Attack on Titan was.
Yeah. And then it's 11 episodes, but you still haven't watched the first episode, which is of Season 2, which is just Rengoku.
I mean, but, like, like, would you say it's important, or you're just like, it's just kind of a backstory episode?
It's just showing you how he's there already, like, on the train.
Anything else randomly? Yeah, I was gonna say I just randomly decided to watch that Konosuba one because of a TikTok that I saw that
like I
just
said,
looked that it was
if
really
you
funny.
like that and you like want like a little more action besides just being hilarious, you'd like How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. And then I continuously keep telling
isn't that one already like a season 2?
Yeah, it's already had 2 seasons out.
Yeah.
And then
there's something else of it right now. Like it's over.
No, not right. Not over, but the season 2 ended at some point.
And then
Rising of Shield Hero season 2 is going on, but I keep telling you to watch Ranking of Kings.
Oh yeah. I'm just like sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm looking for something, but also I've been watching an assload of one shots of DnD.
Yeah. So again, like, D&D content, just consume it at all times. I mean, I'm getting close to like episode 40 of the Mighty Nine season 2, and when it comes to that point, like 40 episodes of 4 hours long. What's that? Like 160 hours of content that I've now consumed of that. So that's a lot of days. Yes. But anything else for the anime segment?
No, I think that's pretty much it. So segment over.
All right, cool. So moving things right along, to what you've been up to, and actually we're gonna go with me because I have been. I usually end up only getting like a day to really play, but I have been playing the new Final Fantasy game.
It looks fun. I've watched you play a little bit.
It's actually a lot of fun. I am enjoying the playstyle of it, but I was kind of messing up certain things that I had to do.
Have you figured out the mechanics? You know,
no. I know all the mechanics, but it's just like it's difficult for what I was trying to do, and I've understood like a different mechanic now because what I was trying to do is essentially you can change your job class, and the main character that you play as, you can change his job class like at all times, like frequently.
Yeah.
And then certain items like your weapon and then your type of armor that you wear change. Like sometimes we'll have a percentage of like I think it's like job skill, and then the more percentage you have, the more like extra bonuses you unlock for that specific class. So like if I'm playing like one of the earlier classes is just like a sword wielder, or like just like a samurai, which is just you can use a katana. Or no, it's not samurai. What the fuck is it called? I don't fucking know. But you can use a katana, and it's the only weapon you can use for that class.
Ronin.
Yes, it was called Ronin. That's what it's called. It's Ronin, so you can use a katana. So what I was trying to do was max out, because if you change class to a Ronin, you already get a 30% bonus to the class, which I think unlocks the first like stat booster. And then the more items you add that have Ronin on it, like obviously depending on the percentage that they have on it, add more and more stats to it. I wasn't caring about the level of my equipment. I was caring about the job percentage. But because of that, remember how like it would see that I was way under leveled for certain missions? Mm-hmm. Well, instead of caring about that, I started giving myself and my other side characters the best type of equipment, and immediately it raised like my party's like level basically. Mm-hmm. And I also realized that as you're wearing, so like if I'm a Ronin, but I'm wearing something that gives a stat boost to like the Axeman class, mm-hmm. I can be leveling up Ronin and the Axe class at the same time. The thing that I'm like not sure of 100% is like whether or not I level up quicker if everything is the same type of equipment of my job class. I don't understand that completely.
So are you like that's the one
like at this point? Yeah, now I'm just mixing and matching for whatever the best like equipment I have. Mm-hmm. So my character like weapon does the most damage and armor's doing the most defense to help me out. So that's what I've been more focused on now. But the game has been a lot of fun. I think one of our buddies over at the GameStop was trying to tell me that the mechanics was more so for Final Fantasy 15, and that's not true at all. The dodging and blocking mechanics I wish were like a little bit better, because oftentimes I feel like I'm in the middle of like an attack, and I know like if I was doing it in a different game, like I could kind of quickly dodge roll out of it, and I feel like there's kind of like this time lag in between where it's just like, okay, I want to get away, and I'm like tapping X or trying to hold L1 to guard, and I don't do it in time. And sometimes I just don't pay attention to my health. But I have been having a lot of fun, but there is an ass ton of classes, and there's also a trophy for unlocking all of the classes. So,
Are you going for the plat?
I think I might. Like, I'm thoroughly enjoying the game. I know there's a trophy for beating the game on Chaos difficulty, which I haven't unlocked. So I'm going to see.
Well, you haven't beaten the game yet, right?
Oh, I haven't beaten the game. No, I have not. So, because like sometimes like now I've been replaying missions to just level up job classes. So yeah, we'll see how everything goes with that. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I still haven't touched the Skywalker Saga because again I'm trying to focus on this one before I jump into another one.
The Lego one.
Yeah, but I have seen. Like, I don't think I've seen any new PlayStation game that's coming out soon.
I've seen plenty of TikToks of shit.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any new PlayStation games that I'm kind of like on the prowl for. So like I'm good with that. But I have seen some cool Switch games that I have wanted to try. Like Triangle Strategy looks really cool. The new Kirby game looked really awesome too. I did mention it on the podcast, but I finally figured out what was wrong with my Switch. So here's to people that have Switches. Do not use a different charger besides your own, because if you use like the Junior's charger that charges his laptop, I've used before to charge my Switch.
Yeah, it's a USB-C.
Yeah, because screw you, Brian. Brian took my Switch charger home one time because it could also charge his phone. And so while I was playing my Switch, I was charging it with the laptop charger, and that basically fried my circuit board. Or like it fried the battery, fried the circuit, something like that. But I took it into a place where they could fix it. I explained what had happened, and they told me that they could fix like the battery portion, but there are certain times where that's not all the damage sustained. So they'd be like, you could potentially just waste your money doing that. So it's easier to send it into like Nintendo and try to get it changed. But at this point, it just seems like it would take too much like work and effort versus just.
We already know how lazy you can be when it's effort shit, but I'm like, it also depends on how much it is. If they're like, oh yeah, we can fix it for $300, like I could buy a new one for $300.
So and plus like I just playing the Switch handheld, so I'd be like I think I'd prefer just a Switch Lite at this point, in which I think obviously like if you get a Switch and it's for like using like the whole game station, which involves like being able to hook it up to your TV, like that costs more than just a Switch Lite. So I think I might just end up trying to get a Switch Lite. However, a lot of places are sold out of those because of the pandemic. People bought a lot of video games.
People really got into gaming.
Yeah.
And anime.
Yes, and anime, which is awesome. But yeah, so watch Konosuba, and I don't think I caught up on a lot of other anime. For whatever reason, I hadn't watched One Piece in a little bit, and then last week pissed me off because they did like a recap episode. But the episode before that was like blowing up the internet because this is such a fantastic scene.
I love how filler episodes are filler episodes, but recap episodes are still canon. It's like, you're not telling me anything new.
Yeah, it gets annoying.
You're not telling me anything fucking new. Like, all of a sudden, Luffy's in his boat, and he's fucking thinking about something that happened, like, fucking 70 episodes ago.
It's always like something, like, this
man?
one for fans of One Piece, it was Bartolomeo that was, like, just talking about their exploits, and it was just like, I don't care about this. I freaking want, like, go back to some shit's about to pop off. So yeah, that's where that's going on right now.
Yeah, I haven't played any video games. I'm still waiting for you to game share Forbidden West because I want to play that. However,
you're in the middle of what, like 4 games right now?
I don't think I'm in the middle of 4 games. I'm in the Ghostwire Tokyo and Skyrim, but like I don't feel like I have to beat Skyrim all the way through. I feel like I can jump into Skyrim whenever the fuck I want. I already have. I've already beaten that game to completion 100%. Like Ghostwire Tokyo, I'm in the middle of that game. I don't think I'm in the middle of another game besides that one. I started Deathloop and then I never picked that game up again. It's like, I think that one's just one that I'm just gonna have to.
Ghostwire Tokyo, Skyrim. I thought you had another one, or you just kept saying like, well, you haven't game shit, and it's like, dude, you're in the middle of.
Well, I mean, right before Elden Ring came out, I started Dark Souls 2.
Oh yeah,
I think I've barely played Dark Souls 2. Like I've only done like the first area of Dark Souls 2. That's it. technically I'm in the middle of Final Fantasy VII. I got to like chapter 7 or 8, and then I haven't played. But another game came out at the same time that we were playing that. I started playing that, and then something else came out, and then that took my attention away. Mm-hmm. And then I just never got back into it. But I do want to play it because I was enjoying it.
I feel like making Amaya a warlock and like her deity could be herself. She gave herself her own magic because there's a real life human living inside of her. Because playing as a sorcerer, I think, might be a little bit too difficult for her. And same thing, like wizards just have like
that's wizards.
Wizards, number one, have super low health, and then also have just a crap ton of spells at their disposal. So it just might be like a little difficult for her to keep up with everything. And warlocks, depending.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna throw shit at them where like by the end of this they're gonna be level 20 where she's gonna be like, I have like 75 spells to choose from. It's like we'll get to like level 5 or 6, something that's still a little bit manageable. Like again, Max is 4. Mm-hmm. Like Max totally forgot that he could do the Ray of Frost thing today when we were playing. Mm-hmm. Like, and I didn't remind him of it. Like I kept trying to get him like. The first time, he didn't even want to use his bow, and then he was using his bow a lot today, even though he got a brand new weapon. Mm-hmm.
And antlers.
Yeah.
The cursed mace, which harms his friends.
Yeah. And I just, like, I wrote you, and then I wrote Megan's character, and then I wrote Baby, his wolf pet that he got, and then I wrote down Julius as the other person that could get hurt. And Julius never got hurt.
So what's Amaya the gummy worm person?
Yeah, sure. Or you just put like Amaya the candy person. It doesn't really matter.
The gummy worm warlock.
Because like it's also the same. Like Max is also the gummy bear, so they're both gummies. But yeah.
Nope, ran out of space. Fuck.
The gummy bear. But yeah, no. But like yeah, so I haven't played any video games in a while, but I do want to like get back into Ghostwire Tokyo. But like Megan is like, I want to watch you play Forbidden West.
I thought that was like a joke. Like
no, she was the one that told me. She was like, I want to watch you, because then I told you. Remember, I was like, she says hurry the fuck up because she wants to watch me play it. She was like, hurry up. She was like, I want to watch you play that game. Because yeah, she like watched me play the first Horizon, not all the way through though, because I got the platinum while I was away.
Yeah, I'm super, again, and I've said this to you before, but I don't think on our podcast. I'm super curious to what you're gonna think of the story.
Yeah,
so, I really liked it. I thought it was kind of badass, but I'm just curious as how you'll feel.
Yeah, well,
I'm making both of them neutral good.
Yeah. So yeah, haven't really played any video games. I've been watching a lot of like anime and stuff. I've been just watching an assload of fucking Naruto, Shippuden. We're in the 4th Great Ninja War. The episode that we're currently on, Naruto is fighting with Octopops, like with him, not against him. Mm-hmm. And with Kakashi and Guy against all the Jinchuriki, all the other tailed beasts. And so we're there right now.
You said Megan figured like a big thing out. Or you, what'd you say? You forced
she said
her
I forced her into figuring it out. Because I was like, there's huge clues.
Yeah.
I'm like, once you see it.
However, the show hasn't revealed it though, right?
The show hasn't revealed it, but...
Yeah, no. That's all I'm saying though. I'm just saying the show hasn't revealed it.
Revealed who the person behind the mask is, yes. but Madara's already been shown.
Yes. So yeah,
the reanimated Madara, so which already means that the person behind the mask isn't Madara. Mm-hmm. But I think I had guessed it. I was the one that I like guessed it on my own, and then I was just like, part of me was like, don't tell me, but then I was like, but tell me if I'm right. It was like, don't tell me, but then tell me if I'm right. And I was like, is it Obito? And then you're like, yeah. And then I was like, okay, cool. So I was right. So yeah, watched a bunch of Naruto. Yeah, also watched first season of Konosuba. I don't think I've seen any movies lately. I'm trying to think if there was like a movie that I've watched lately. I don't know. This is usually when I don't even know where my phone is. Like, this is usually when I pull up my phone and I check my IMDb to see if I've looked anything up, because that's usually what tells me if I've watched anything lately. I watched some Criminal Minds with Megan. Well, I actually watched like the final episodes because the show ended.
Criminal Minds ended?
Yeah, Criminal Minds ended in 2020, but I guess they're like bringing it back now.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So yeah, I watched like some Criminal Minds. But yeah, like off the top, I don't think I've seen any movies lately. Oh, we didn't get to talk. I haven't talked about this though. The Tokyo Vice. I finished the fucking first season. Jesus Christ, that show's so good. If you have HBO Max, watch Tokyo Vice. Like, it is really good. I mean, I've already talked about that it's good before on the show and like the premise, but like, Jesus, the season 1 finale was fucking insane. Because at the very beginning of the season, you see this intense scene, and then it's like 2 years ago, or it says like 6 months ago, wherever the hell. It flashes back to what you're actually watching in the show. But I thought that you were gonna get to that point that you saw at the beginning at the end of season 1, and you don't. So like, but yeah, the show so good. I cannot wait. What sucks is this show has literally just come out, so it's like, oh, season 2 is not coming out till fucking next year. But my God, this show is so good. It's like, I think you'd really enjoy it too, especially because you like dub, so you're not gonna have as hard of a. Because I have to pause it, dude. I have to pause it sometimes when they're talking, because I'm like, oh, that dialogue went by way too fast. I wasn't able to read it, and like, because there's like, it's like crime stuff and shit, and like there's like a lot of exposition going on in the show. I have to pause it to read what they just said, just in case. So I think like one time I paused it and it was just like, shut the fuck up, you piece of shit. And then I was like, oh, I didn't need to pause to read that. That guy just got insulted. But like, even Jesus Christ, Ansel Elgor's character, even him, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, God damn it, dude, just speak English, motherfucker. Like, you're speaking to your Japanese friends who also speak English. Just how about this scene's just in English, so I don't have to fucking keep reading subtitles. Give me a little fucking break. But yeah, fucking end of first season was fucking nuts. I cannot wait for more of that show. So good, super excited. If you have HBO, watch that. It's really awesome. Tokyo Vice. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's really nothing else. Oh, and DnD stuff. I've just been watching a lot of YouTube and DnD.
I got to see Brennan play as that rabbit character that just somehow like, and he went to Twitter to kind of figure out like, and asked a bunch of other D&D nerds like what he could do to optimize the most like damage in one turn, and he created this character that he took 5 levels in 5 different classes, because it was a level 21 shot, and was able to attack 9 times in one round, and did well over, like, if I like just thinking about it like on the top of my head, what was it, like, I think in the current campaign that they have going on, Emily Axford
did 560.
560 damage, and he blew that like out of the water. I think he ended up doing over, because it was like, I'm just trying to think about how much freaking damage he did. I think it had to be close to like 800 or 900 damage in his turn, and it was like completely insane.
I mean, like, my thing is like, are there people that have over 1,000 health, like gods? Like, do gods have that much health?
That I'm unaware of, because like I've never really researched how much like health a god would have. Like the most health I've seen like a creature have is, I think, like an ancient golden dragon has like over 500 health. Like
in the one shot that I watched, which like became like a 2 shot or whatever that I was telling you about, that he also played, where he played the paladin. they fought against a dragon, and at the end, the DM said that he used Tiamat's stat block.
Okay.
But, like, I didn't look it up to see how much health Tiamat had. So that's why I was like, is there anybody in the D&D realm, like, if it's a god or just some super mega villain that has, like, 1,000 health?
What would Amaya's thing be? What is giving her her spells?
What do you mean?
Because they have to have a patron.
Like, I thought you said her god was herself or some shit.
It's being silly. Like, she's her own person giving her her spells.
I don't know, like, what kind of patron?
Like Archfey would be, like, some fey creature. A fiend is, like, basically a demon.
Oh, like how
or devil.
Imogen gets her, or how Laudna's getting...
Laudna's getting she's an undead...
Through, yeah.
Well, yeah, she's an undead warlock.
Well, she's getting her magic through...
someone who's dead.
The lady who killed her.
Yeah. Celestial could be, like, there's... Because obviously there was new subclass... Or new patrons that were given out besides just some classes. The warlock has, like, almost, like, 2 subclasses because you get otherworldly patron and then there's also pact magic. Because at 3rd level you get a pact boon.
Is there a way that she could be, I don't know, what's like a deity that you could say that, like we could reskin it.
Yeah.
So like, what if like...
Well, like it could be like the great gummy worm, but that's what I'm saying. Would that be an old one or an ancient one?
I'm saying, like, is there one that's like, it's got something to do with like love or something like that, where it's like her desire to protect her brother is part of what gives her magic? Like, is there some deity of, like, good or, something like that where it's like...
That would be, like, I still feel like that seems more like celestial magic, maybe.
Sure. Is that... But do you think, like, that's going to be too hard? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if you say we're not getting that far up...
Yeah, we're not going to get into... Yeah, we're not going to get... They're not going to be, like, fucking level 20.
I think celestial would be good because it also offers...
Maybe eventually if they really like it, because who knows, Max is liking it, but maybe Amaya, who's my older kid, is going to be like, Dad, this is dumb, I don't like this.
Yeah, I think Celestial will be fine. Alright, so we're going with that.
Like, maybe this just turns into, it'd be cool, like, because I've heard, like, Sam say that, like, he runs a game with his family, so it's like he probably plays with his 2 daughters and his wife, and he, like, DMs for them or whatever. It's like, that might be something like I just kept thinking, like, oh, maybe Max is too young, but, like, yeah, he doesn't seem like he's
doing awesome.
Like, as long as basically I kind of keep it where it's just like, what do you want to do? And then, like, he even makes the sound effects. Where it's like, okay, you open the door, and he's like, he's like, and he's like, oh, okay, you open the door. Like, I don't know, it's just really funny.
Yeah, he is having a good time.
Apparently he had a very good time. That's from The Mummy.
Yeah, I don't even know where we're at right now when it comes to time.
Oh yeah, that's like usually I have the computer sitting next to me so we can check that.
I can't check. I can't check.
Too far away. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I have to check. Get up just to check real quick, boys.
Well, yeah, we could have like looked at our.
Does it say? It doesn't even say.
No, but you can also check the camera. I mean, you're already out of frame anyway.
Hey guys,
just look at there.
We're at we're 50 seconds away from an hour. Dun, 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 dun. Yes.
50 seconds away from an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So is my character gonna be just already part of this, or? Yeah, right.
I would probably be like the you'll be like you'll be like the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
You show up and you're gonna give him guidance, and you'll also be part of it.
I'm Lenny Carrot Tail.
Lenny.
And I, for whatever reason, put R in tail. I'm a rogue.
An R in tail?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I do this, dude. I do it a lot at like.
Where you think shit and you start writing it down.
Well, yeah. Like I'm thinking about like the next word that I'm trying to type,
I do that
especially
too.
at work, and I start adding letters to the word I'm typing. I'm like, no.
Look, a paint bubble. Careful, SpongeBob.
Yeah, careful, SpongeBob. Well, this can't get any worse. Of course it can't. Did you? Oh God! What if you just got paint right in your eyes?
Nah, I've done that before.
Yeah. Gotten paint in your eyes?
No. Like I've done the bubble thing before.
Oh, okay.
Bubble buddy.
Whole new kind of bubble. Just kidding. That's Hubble. No, I don't know what that is. So, what else?
Hey, you didn't let me roll. I just realized. I was like, hey, we're gonna roll characters. You didn't let me roll anything.
For what? Oh, well, you said you weren't going to be a character in this, though.
I know, but I said, like, I was like, I want to roll characters, and you're like, you only need one hand. You let me roll shit. It just depends.
Well, you did just paid in. I rolled all the
right,
characters.
I'll roll for Lenny.
I already rolled. I rolled everybody's stats already.
God damn it.
Lenny's the only one that's going to have a negative stat.
I have no fun.
We'll give it to intelligence. I'll be a dummy.
No, you're the one that's supposed to be guiding.
No, I'm just a silly bunny. I'm a shifty little rabbit because I'm a rogue.
I'm a crazy rabbit squirrel.
I'm a crazy rabbit squirrel.
Man, this turned out way better than I thought. When I was first in, I was like, man, this looks like shit. And then it dried, and I'm like, damn, actually, this looks really cool.
No, it looks awesome.
No, not that. I'm talking about this.
Oh, that specifically?
Yeah, like this specifically. When I was painting, I was like, man, this paint doesn't seem like it's adhering very well. It's going to look like shit.
No, it looks
And then I'm like,
fantastic.
oh, man, this looks awesome. Fantastic.
What else do we got going on, though? I'm trying to think of, like, something. Is there anything on your horizon that you're trying to get to?
What do you mean?
We need to catch up on Halo.
Oh.
We haven't watched any Moon Knight.
I know. We haven't watched any Moon Knight.
And I think the season finale of Moon Knight.
We did watch all of Boba Fett,
We
though.
did. That was awesome.
Fucking awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, the Boba Fett show was freaking sweet.
Yes, very, very, very sweet.
Yeah, how do you feel about the fact that they straight up announced that Obi Wan, they basically called it a 6-part. It's like this is 6 episodes and it's done.
I'm fine with it, especially because you're gonna get
it's just kind of something cool, but you know it's not gonna go anywhere.
You get to see the culmination of so much stuff because you get to see just from the trailer, you get to see bad guys that you got to see in Star Wars Rebels, which was same animation as the Clone Wars series that they did. Which once again, if you're a Star Wars fan and you haven't seen it, what are you doing? So it's the same animation. Star Wars was the same animation as that, and you're gonna get to see characters from that. On top of the fact, it seems also that you're going to get to see characters from The Force Awaken.
Yeah. No. The 9th movie.
No.
Or the 7th movie. I mean.
No, the PS4 video game that was fucking phenomenal with Cal Kestis.
Unleashed. Cal Kestis.
Yeah, not The Force Unleashed. That's awesome as well.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, yes. Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, it's not The Force anything. It's just called Jedi Fallen Order. It was a fantastic game. Looks like you're going to get to see some characters that even came from that too.
I just like that we got to see a BD character in the Boba Fett show, the Book of Fett. We got to see a BD. He was like, BD, get over here.
Yeah, just a little
and I was like, yeah, BD1, fuck yeah. It wasn't BD1.
It wasn't BD1.
But it was still BD and it was cool.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I am beyond excited.
Oh, man. Just real quick, because I think Book of Fett's been over for a while. What did you think about when they fucking went into Grogu's mind to see what had the past?
That was
and
awesome.
You got to see those 2 Jedis getting fucking gunned down by the oh man, that was so fucking awesome.
That was 100% awesome. I don't want to ruin stuff that happened in the show if you haven't seen Boba Fett, but you should, because it is kind of a continuation of right after season 2 of The Mandalorian ended.
Yes.
So it's definitely if you like The Mandalorian, because that was me. I was I really like The Mandalorian, but I don't give a shit about Boba Fett, and then the Boba Fett show ended up being amazing. So if you liked Mandalorian and you decided not to watch Boba Fett, watch it because it's basically a continuation.
Yeah, I mean, like I had said, it was like there was nowhere for the Mandalorian to go. So they took over with Boba Fett, but then that was just here's this, and then it was and now we're back. So now there can be a season 3 of The Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. It's we had to take a break.
Paragon.
We had to take a break from.
I was calling it Radigan like an idiot.
Yeah, so we haven't watched. We only watched the first 2 episodes of Halo. So we have however many episodes now of that. Mm-hmm. We haven't watched anything of Moon Knight. But then I think there's no other other show that that we started and haven't caught up on.
Dude, I started the new season of Cobra Kai, which people said was good. And I got like 2 episodes in and I haven't finished it.
Oh, yeah. I was like, because you told me about that fucking funny ass joke that you sent me, and I was gonna say I haven't even started that either.
Yeah, so it was just I don't know, man. Like watching shows and movies, I think almost took like a back burner. Like except for the couple times that we went to the movie theaters, they took a back burner to like video games and like DnD for me because again, there's so much stuff that goes into crafting the campaign.
Well, it's like once we discovered like D&D, then we discovered like all these like that we could also watch it. Like watch other people play it. And at first, you know what's like weird is that like I generally am not like a sports person. Like I'm not gonna sit down and watch people play. I'd rather be playing than play or than watch people play. But like with D&D, I don't like. I would say like I'd much rather be playing than watch people play. However, watching people play is also extremely entertaining.
Yes,
especially if it's a bunch of fucking comedians and shit. Like, it's really funny. So, like, watching Critical Role, watching Dimension 20, it's so funny. No, what I was going to say is that, like, well, fuck it. We're already doing a whole bunch of D&D stuff. I kind of wanted to get your take so far, because we've only done, I think we've almost, like, counted it out a few times. We've done either, like, between 8 and 10 sessions of our current campaign.
Yes, we did count it out the other day.
Yeah, you as the DM, what has been your favorite moment, or what's been like either your favorite moment or like your favorite like little mission or whatever, or what was something that you were like, I really thought that it was gonna go this way, and I was completely surprised that you guys like figured a way around the thing that I thought like I had a perfect obstacle for some shit.
I feel like you're pandering right now to just the one thing that happened that did that, because there hasn't been any other moment really. But I feel like you asked 2 questions instead of just one. Is it my favorite moment as like in the campaign so far, or is it when have I noticed that you guys went around something that I had originally planned? Well,
both. I mean, you can answer both.
Yes, I can. But you said you had 1 question, then asked me 2 instead, or it was like 2 disguised as 1. Because if I was gonna say one,
I just said like, what's your favorite moment, or I didn't say like and.
We'll check it in post. I can't answer both. My favorite, and I talked about this on the Jamiezy's podcast. When I was on that, so check out that episode where I talked more about like a little bit of the campaign, but it was 100% in Darkbane, that super sad town that I had you guys go through, when the revelation of what the big bad in the haunted library, like what her backstory basically was. I got a solid reaction from Gertis, aka Megan, your girlfriend. And then when you guys found out about the orphanage, I got another solid reaction from Morgug, a.k.a. Sean, my friend from work. Getting any type of reactions from you guys that is, like, not just, there's a difference between, like, oh, I rolled like shit and, like, you feel bad. Like, that's not a reaction I'm necessarily looking for. But I'm looking for, like, an emotional reaction to something that happened in the story that shows me that a PC, a character, has really immerse themselves in this story, and it's not just me like telling a story, it's also you guys like feeling like, yo, this is me and I just had to witness this, and this is like either whether it's a super sad moment, like a super happy moment, like your character gets like really angry or whatever. Like, what was it? I mean, I've consumed a lot of D&D content, so like I think one of the things that could sometimes be more awkward is when like 2 PCs have like an argument in the game and it's like a bad argument, and then like quickly switching off like as soon as the D&D session is over to like, oh hey man, yeah, so did you guys want to grab dinner or whatever, like completely bypassing the fact that your 2 characters in the game like had a heated argument or were super pissed at each other. So yeah, it's any type of like emotional reaction that I can get through my players makes me feel like I did a good job as a DM, like really immersing them. So like that was my favorite moment in Darkbane. The like, what the fuck did you guys just do to what I'm trying to set up for you guys was definitely not last session, which was yesterday, but the session before that, last week, when you guys infiltrated a town that it was being run by these corrupt guards who have kidnapped the mayor's daughter and had murdered his wife, and was basically like, follow our orders or something's going to happen to your daughter. I had set it up that you guys were supposed to find his daughter, and then his daughter was supposed to help you guys like sneak back into the town and help you guys kind of save her dad. And
so I guess based on that, because obviously we still haven't seen the daughter, so we don't have to get into the details about that part of it yet. But
I mean, it doesn't matter. You guys
right. So what I'm saying is,
I was talking about more like in the town now.
No, right. So then, okay. I kind of want to know then. So because you're already kind of telling us that, like, I kind of want like not like a super step by step, but like once we save the daughter, what was like what did you think was the way that like the correct way to do this?
Basically, she would have had information on the city of Quaalude that would have helped you guys like get it. Like, first of all, she would have known about that secret passage that you guys found,
like into the mansion.
Yeah. So like I was gonna use obviously like her knowledge of that. She was obviously gonna be able to offer it to help you guys get into the mansion, and then you guys could obviously like. If you guys all entered as a party, and know that you guys have the daughter, the goal would have been like securing the mayor and then, uprooting all of the evil that was going on in there. And then again, once the mayor...
But there was still a lot of guards in the house.
Yeah, but still, but they were in like different portions of like the mansion. Like if you guys would have taken, like as the party, taking out all the guards in rooms would have been fairly easy. It would have just been finding the mayor. And I mean, it's DnD, so it's like anything goes, like with the roll of the dice and what's going to happen. But that was the original plot for that. And instead, you and our cleric Veldahal, he disguised himself and brought you in as a prisoner after you had completely bailed on the party when you guys were getting threatened by like the evil guard captain there.
The evil Emperor Zurg.
You had like hidden in the city, then he disguised himself as a guard, went in, found you, and then you guys formulated this plot to go into the mansion. And your guys' original plan didn't go like as what you guys wanted, but essentially what you guys ended up doing was the massive amount of guards that ended up being in the mansion, which was only 20, which isn't like, all things considered for a city, 20 guards isn't a lot. Guys ended up convincing them that Veldahal was the real guard captain, and the guards turned on the actual captain and ended up killing him without you guys having to lift a single finger in that fight.
I did throw a grenade.
Oh yeah.
I did throw a grenade. That initiated this. That initiated the shit.
So that was something that was just like. And I mean, for some of our other players that were like looking in, because obviously, I didn't separate the two groups because it was only two, like our party's 8 people, and there was 2 of you in the mansion, and the other 6 were either flying on the magic carpet or being like flown behind it with a levitate spell. They flew in and just are watching, the game board kind of go off like, this is a lot of effing enemies, and you guys are completely fucked if we're not there to kind of help. But things
it's like if this goes bad, like you guys are in a lot of trouble. Immediately
had it gone bad, like I rolled some horrible rolls to kind of certain to certain things that I was trying to check to see, and you guys just ended up doing incredibly well. So that was probably the part where it was just like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe this ended up working. And I think you've already told me that that's been your favorite session.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was the first time where I was like, oh my God, this plan that shouldn't have worked. Because there's been other times where I'm like, I feel like the plan that I have in my head is more plausible. And this one was like, this is plausible, but way on the like, this is a 1 in 10 chance that this works. And other plans that I've had, I'm like, this is an 8 in 10 chance that this works, and it doesn't work. I'm like, how the fuck did this
But
not work?
that's also like the beauty of D&D, especially when you leave stuff up to like a dice roll like that. Like even something that should be 100% foolproof can immediately go wrong if you end up fucking up your rolls.
Yeah.
So yeah, because at the end of the day, it either works or it doesn't.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like, full disclosure, like, I take this extremely personally. Like, I'm like, I want this shit to work out, and when it doesn't work out, I'm like, God damn it.
yeah. So yeah, it was, but it's been definitely a ride.
Without giving away like anything, like obviously specific because we're still playing.
Obviously, you're one of my players.
Yeah. Is there like, or is there one specific thing you're super excited about, or is there one person's story of that you're like, oh my god, I cannot wait till we get to this character's story because it's gonna be fucking awesome.
It's kind of everyone who, like, you guys in the latest session that we played, you guys, like, there's been this reoccurring theme of your guys' dreams affecting like the world that you guys are in. Like your dreams are basically reaching out and touching you guys in the real world. So like in the last session, I did a lot of stuff that adhered personally to your, I mean, every single one of your dreams had kind of like touch base on like your backstories and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm extremely excited, me personally, for everyone that has kind of like a badass villain for like the villain monologues. So, and I'm deathly afraid of like being in the middle of a monologue and somebody just being, I immediately attack, like, God damn it, like, let me get through my fucking monologues because I've worked very hard on this stuff. But I've also, like, I don't think I really have had to yet, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because I don't remember. I don't think I've been in a situation where there's multiple NPCs and I have to go like back and forth between them having a conversation in front of you guys.
Not like in front of us, because like in our dreams, some of that stuff was happening. But like it's more like one person says something and then like the other guy's just like, "Yes, my lord," and then just walks away. But it hasn't been like a full on conversation. It's not like a full conversation where one person is like, it's two super important people where one person's like blah 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 blah, and then the other person's like blah 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 blah. It's just like blah 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 blah. Yes, my lord. Yeah. The other guy just says that, and like that's the end of it. Yeah. So like the only other time that I think anything like that has happened is like when we met Captain John Raven, and like his crew, like Clancy, and then he's like Chauncey. Yeah, Chauncey's like, and he's like he shoots Chauncey. Chauncey gets shot in the hand. He's like, ah. Yeah. Like I think like that was pretty much it. I have heard that Captain John Raven has now become a player favorite from like everyone loves him. But yeah, so I'm extremely excited for you when we get to those points, because beyond that, like I can't, I've made this increasingly easy for myself. And again, this is, hopefully fingers crossed, the first time I'm going to be able to go through like a full campaign with players that have all been, committed to wanting to get to the end and see things through. I did make things kind of increasingly easy for myself, making like an adventure guild, because that makes getting quests extremely easy. You guys know exactly where to find them. Where more often than not, like when people are in a like a city or a town or whatever, more often than not, it's like one thing happens. It's like a mystery. Yeah, one thing kind of like happens that you guys stumble into, and then it turns into whether or not you guys are going to follow it. Yeah, it's like, it's like, you learned, it's like, you recognize this one person, and blah, 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 and like that person's connected to one of the players past somehow, and then it's like, it turns into something else, like, now we've got some other thing, yeah. So, for this one, it's just kind of like, there's your guys' main like plot was at the beginning was just like, we want to be adventurers, so we're here in this original village. Well, like even in campaign 3 of like or not Dimension 20, in campaign 3 of Critical Role, like sometimes when I'm like watching something, like I understand what's going on right now, but then like I find myself going like, where did this all start? Like, what was the thing that they were trying to discover, and now we're in something else, and I'm like, when are they going to get back to that other thing that was going on in the city or whatever? Because it was like, I'm like, even now, sometimes I'm like, they got attacked by furniture. Then there was stuff with the shade creepers.
They ended up finding out where that furniture came from, though, because it was from the Nightmare King.
Yes.
The shade creature stuff, they did end up going into like the pits and they found out that there's like a tunnel system underneath.
The spires.
Yeah, but I think they kind of like they did end because they took the green cloaks with them when they went downstairs, which were essentially just private eyes, and they took Lady. I think Emoth was her name.
Yes.
They took Lady Emoth, who was like basically working for the
a
shade
big
creature.
giant like
yes.
ball.
So and that was them kind of clearing their name and also letting the city of Drusar know this is going on downstairs. Downstairs. This is going down in like the middle of or underground, and here's the proof of it. So like they did kind of like get through that. They didn't resolve that themselves, but I mean the city could also take care of it because
I also feel like there was other stuff that I'm trying like the stuff with the acid with the mimic wall when they met Chutney. Yeah, that hasn't been resolved yet, right? I don't remember who set up that wall.
I think it was the Nightmare King.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think it was the Nightmare King.
Okay. So everything's led back to him, but he got away.
But yeah, he disappeared. So like, I feel like eventually, like he'll be a returning character.
And then yes, they know about the stuff going on downstairs, but then there's also all the like higher ups in the city that are part of this shit, and that hasn't been resolved yet.
Yeah, and I mean they still have their one benefactor there in the city. But yeah, they left to complete that
thing for Talson's character.
The heist. The setup heist for a gamble between a couple like rich people, so I think they might be making their way back to Drusar now. Making my way.
Because they have nowhere else to go. They didn't get any more information. I guess the stuff with like Imogen is starting to pop off too, or whatever.
Yeah. There's stuff
with
going on with her,
Spawn and all that.
If you had a guess, whose backstory do you think will get resolved first?
Well, it seems like Imogen might be like kind of like a central character, but it also seems like hers is the thing that's being done first.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't like found much of anything out with like FCG's character. Also, like, what can be resolved for Laudna's character, like her,
I don't know how she ended up that way. Like, you know who her patron is now, and if you're a fan of the show and stuff,
right. But what I'm saying is like it's not like she can get revenge. She's already dead. They like her revenge got taken care of by Vox Machina.
Yes.
So it's like there's really not much to be resolved with Laudna's character. Like I guess she could try to figure out how what happened
sometimes,
to her, but that's just information.
And that's
stuff,
again,
not necessarily,
you can play again. D&D is this whole character creation, backstory creation, just ultimate creation game that you can play. But
it's also kind of hard to see.
Yeah. If you decide to do this, it's fine. But don't be afraid. Like, not every character has to have this horrible dark past. I think Jester. Laura's character in Campaign 2 is just trying to figure out who her dad is. Like, she had I can't completely say a wonderful child. She had a very loving mother, but because of her mom's job, she wasn't able to spend as much time with her mom as she wishes she could have. But she's just trying to figure out who her dad is. Like, sometimes it doesn't have to be like my entire family was slaughtered. Like, not everyone is constantly looking for revenge and stuff like that. Like, sometimes, it does make pretty easy to have, like, a centralized villain for your backstory, depending on what you're going to do. But also sometimes, like, it's cool to have maybe, like, a nice background, and then as you're diving into your character's backstory, you end up finding, like, a villain for that. So
yeah, I mean, like...
Or sometimes maybe you don't have one.
Like, Ashton's character doesn't seem... Like, Talson's character doesn't seem like he has, like, a centralized villain or whatever. It's like... Some bad shit's happened to him. He's kind of had like a decent but not a super good life, but like he's like kind of just fine with what he does. Like FCG lost his creator and the rest of his robots. So it's like we have to figure out what's going on with him. Also, there's like obviously we haven't really gotten much of any information with him. I feel like we've gotten more information with Laura. So like if I'm taking a guess, I'm guessing Laura's stuff gets figured out first. I don't think they're gonna figure out Orum's stuff for a long time. I feel like his is one of the last ones that gets resolved.
I also kind of here's the thing though. I think
because his doesn't even take place. Like his is also technically took place in Tal'Dorei.
Yeah. But the thing is he's searching for the assassins though.
Yeah.
So I think his could get resolved first, especially because he thought of Orum as a support character this time around. And he said on that Four-Sided Dive episode that just came out that now it's kind of turned into like him and Imogen sometimes are coming up with all the like plans when originally I think he said his intelligence score was kind of like one of his dump stats where he didn't care much about it, and it still seems like they're coming to him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's happened with us when we play because like Megan rolled low for intelligence, so technically she's supposed to be like the dumb character, and she's the one that's like figured out some of the puzzles that we've had to do.
And I love Liam O'Brien. I don't love Orm's voice. I loved Caleb's voice. I loved Vax's voice.
You don't love that he's like a soft-spoken character?
He just has like this range of awesome accents and what he could do, and like soft-spoken. Like I get that he's soft-spoken, but I wish it would have been like a soft-spoken accent. Yeah.
Where he's just like, we could do that. Yeah. Well, it's just like it just feels like
it's like I'm not saying because obviously there's
maybe it plays into the whole like big moon little moon thing where it's just like he was kind of like the backseat, like he just kind of like it's like he's one of those characters where it's like he's like not afraid to be like the vulnerable character or whatever because it's like he's the snuggly type or whatever. And you could tell like not even more finding out like with the backstory that like his husband was killed and stuff like that. It's like he snuggles Fern's leg. Because I bet that's how like he used to get snuggled or whatever. So it's just like he's still kind of trying to like hold on to that part of him, even though like that part's gone.
Well, yeah, and they ask him in one episode like, "How often do you think about your husband?" And he's like, "Every day." Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm always excited to see how everyone's backstories will unfold. I mean, I'm only like I think I'm on episode 36 of the Mighty Nine, and no one's backstory has been like unfolded yet. I think we're in the process of getting like a lot of backstory for Travis's character Ford, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
It's like Percy's character the first one that gets resolved in Vox Machina?
I'm pretty sure, yes. Well, I mean,
because that's kind of like the start of Vecna.
Yes, so that's why I'm saying again, I don't think they're really deviating from what happened. And again, like Matt would have had all the notes from all the stuff that they did in that. Again, plug for that show Vox Machina on Amazon Prime. If you guys haven't seen it, you gotta watch it.
Yeah. James, I'm looking at you. If you haven't seen it, you should watch that.
Yeah.
Like especially if you're like, I want to get into D&D, watch Vox Machina. It's fucking amazing.
So I think, I definitely think that's whose character they did first. But
so you think that Orum's might be the first one to get resolved?
I think because
again, I feel like there's other characters that don't have resolvable stuff. Like I would say Orum has something that he's looking for. Imogen and FCG. Like I feel like Fern is a side character. Chetney doesn't really seem like
Fern, you haven't really heard too much about her backstory. Chetney does, because he talks about how his old master betrayed him. And again, like Travis's character Chetney is playing off of Chutney, the old ass elf that they played in the Santa one shot, where he's pissed at Santa because Santa went to like from wooden toys to all of the new technology toys, and he feels betrayed. Obviously, I don't think Santa's getting brought into this campaign, but
because they're like, oh, so this like watch Chetney try to kill Santa Claus or whatever.
And they made jokes about it in the first Four-Sided Dive with Matt and Travis, where we talked about. He's like, there's no Santa in Tal'Dorei.
Yeah, because they're like, what about December? He's like, there's no December.
Yeah, I think there's.
I think he said there's like 7 months.
No, it's like 9. I think it's like 9 months. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
I really wish Robbie would have stayed in.
Yeah,
because like I felt like obviously the Exandria Unlimited that they did not was supposed to tie all that together, like tie it up, but it was like that that storyline about like, oh, I'm gonna have to save my brother and I'm gonna have to pay my brother's debt off, like would have been awesome.
He was such an awesome kid. He said it was his first time playing like on like EXU, and then to join Critical Role for the first 14 or 12 episodes.
Yeah,
like for being his first time ever playing D&D, he did fantastic.
He's awesome.
He was definitely like a fan favorite, I think.
Robbie Damon.
Yeah,
badass.
But it did suck, that he left, because they were doing fantastic as a party, and I also felt like he was a central figure, like for most of the party too.
Yeah, he was. He had because he already had like rapport with two of the other characters, and he like right away was like getting in the groove with everybody else too and whatever. So yeah, but anyways, I think that's gonna be the end of this episode, guys. Obviously, check out
watching.
all the stuff that we talked about. If you're interested. Quickly, I just wanted to say I just got a PlayStation camera. I was gonna mention this earlier, I totally forgot. I think me and Tito are gonna start trying to do some Twitch streaming here and there. We'll see how that goes. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, I think we're gonna do like 2-player games for the most part, but maybe once in a while one of us will play and the other one will just kind of just hang out. So I'll be on the lookout. Or maybe
just one of us. Who knows? Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Be on the lookout for that.
Definitely let you guys know.
Tito, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BanditoTito93. Just reach out at me, DM me, talk to me about anything nerdy, talk to me about what you like on the show, what you don't like, what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear. Love to hear from you guys. Junior?
You guys can find me at pops.maniac as well as nerdy.bros.inc on Instagram. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We appreciate it, and have a good week.
Yeah, guys. Okay, boy.